Hey guys, I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the R1 and the differences between the R1 and the Chrono. Obviously, the R1 as a project is a great fun project because it's a project that we're allowed to develop with no compromise, so we can put in any technology that we think we need to find more performance and improve the feeling and characteristics of the Kite compared to the Chrono. We had a lot of success with the Chrono when we used that as a base to start from, but we've added a lot of technology into the R1, and I think we have a Kite that performs all round better than the Chrono. So we'll start with the Chrono. The main differences are we've gone from 47 cells on the Chrono to 61 cells on the R1. Also, what you'll notice is we've changed the planform quite a lot. We've gone from a swept leading edge, which means the leading edge is swept backwards here and the trailing edge is a bit straighter. And if we go to the R1, obviously you can see that we have a straighter leading edge and the trailing edge is actually swept more forward. The idea behind this is that we have less span-wise flow, so when the air hits the leading edge, it tends to go over the wing instead of being channeled towards the tip. And if you look at the Chrono again, you can see that with this diminishing tip and swept back wing, this will create a little more span-wise flow, and span-wise flow is less efficient obviously than having the flow going straight over the top of the airfoil. So the idea with the straight leading edge is to decrease span-wise flow. The next thing is we've increased the aspect ratio slightly. With the addition of more cells, this has allowed us to just push even further that envelope with the aspect ratio. We've gone up about 3 points. More cells, obviously more cells means cleaner surfaces, and our cell count has gone up from, as I said, from 47 to 61. And what that's done is made the width between each cell much less. So that gives us a much cleaner leading edge. Also, the straighter leading edge helps us have a cleaner leading edge. When you have the cells closer together, we get less billow in between each cell, so the top surface and the bottom surface are cleaner, and that also makes the leading edge cleaner. And of course, anytime you can make the leading edge cleaner, it's better because that means that the flow is disturbed less. Also, what we've done is included diagonals. The diagonal ribs mean that even though we've got more cells, we actually have slightly less line on the R1 than we did on the Chrono. And the diagonals mean that we have line attachments to every third cell instead of every second cell. So if you didn't have the diagonals, it would billow up in between the line attachments, but with the diagonals it holds it nice and straight. The other big difference is the profile, and with the Chrono we learned quite a lot and we had quite good stability, but in the R1 we've got a slightly different profile and it's helped increase the stability. But another thing that's increased the stability and the general rigidity of the wing is the sail tension, and we've spent quite a lot of time working on our development program, and we've improved our sail tension understanding a lot more, and this has meant that we've been able to create a lot more stability, inherent stability in the design of the wing. And last year you'll notice with the Chrono that sometimes the tips were a little bit loose, but this year with the R1 and the new shaping that we have in the top and bottom surface, we seem to have really created a wing that's a lot more together and a lot more solid, and the tips close very rarely. So those are the main differences. Obviously there's lots of little differences as well, but without carrying on for another half an hour, which I'm sure would bore everybody to death, I don't really need to go into those. But you know, if you get on the R1 and give it a ride, even though it's a high aspect wing with a lot of cells and it looks a little bit daunting, it's actually easy and pretty user-friendly for a wing of this performance.